What's up everybody, thanks for checking out the channel. On today's video, let's go over critter proofing your house. And as always, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel, it really helps things out. Let's get into it. So you're saying, Matt, listen man, I've got mice all in my attic, in my basement. My wife, my husband is just losing their mind. And I don't blame you. It's not good. Let's get these mice out of the house. If they're not paying, they gotta go. So a few things you gotta watch for these, where these guys can come in. And the older the house, the more likely you've got them. I mean, this place is 1970 and you know I had them. So I've gotten rid of them. I found where they were coming in and like I said, they don't pay it, they gotta go. So mine happen to be coming in a spot I'll show you after. But we're gonna go over where these guys typically end up coming in. Well, in my experience, I'm no critter control guy, but from what I've seen, this is where they come in. And again, they can fit in a hole the size of a dime. Mice can fit through just about anything. So you're gonna wanna walk around the foundation and you're gonna wanna inspect everything. So check for cracks. And again, these cracks down here, if you get cracks down here, you gotta leave those. You can't plug those up. But you know, my place I had an old crack here that the mortar, and it's still falling out, the mortar fell out of. So I filled it with some silicone and I put some steel wool in there first. So steel wool, and I capped it with silicone. I have this old dryer vent that's plugged up. So I siliconed him shut. I don't use him. Make sure you double check if it's being used or not used. It could be an exhaust or something for your furnace and you don't want to plug that up. So that could cause some serious problems. Be 100% certain or contact a local pro if you're not sure if it's being used or not. Again, so check your foundation for cracks, anything like that, especially in spots where you don't want to check, like under the deck, right? Behind the interlock. Behind the step. Pull the step away, just double check. I had a crack behind mine and it was right back in here. So I checked all of those places. Check your corners. Where the brick meets siding or anything like that, you get details like this. Check those cracks, right? Check underneath. Make sure that there's no gaps and cracks, and if there is, a little bit of clear silicone, both for waterproofing and for critters. So, and then another spot to check as well is your dryer vents and stuff like that, right? So some of these guys do or don't have a steel mesh, and oh, this one doesn't. So it used to have one, it must have blown off. But anyway, you can, this particular one came with a steel mesh, and you want to put that back on, or you want to get one and put them on it. So same with this guy too. If this guy was operational, you'd want to put a little piece of mesh on there, not chicken wire, because chicken wire is too big. Be mindful too that if you're covering your dryer vent, which is a good thing for mice, but a bad thing for lint, right? So if all of a sudden you find your dryer is not drying the clothes as well, you likely have a plug in your vent or your exhaust point, right? It might be at the exterior point right here, or it could be a plug in the line. Again, bad, could be a fire hazard, right? So good for mice, bad for dryers. So just be mindful that if you cover this thing up, you're gonna need some maintenance on it to keep it lint free, because it will build up on that small mesh, because you know you want holes no bigger than maybe 1/4 of an inch. So I happened to be clearing my eaves troughs one day, and the little buggers, I saw a mouse climbing up the brick wall. So of course I let him come into the house and he showed me the way. So he was actually going in. If you look closely, there was a gap between the top of the window and the brick. It was behind the brick. But anyway, so I plugged that one. I plugged that one. I really shouldn't have foamed it. I really should have put steel wool and caulking in. That is the critter-proof foam, but just it's not as clean, and it's an extra step that doesn't have to happen. If I would have just steel wool and put some silicone in, it would have been done. But now I had to foam it, and now I got to get back up there and cut the foam. So I had 2 windows that were culprits for mice. Again, right up here, same detail, and one over here. Other places you're going to want to check is maybe your garage door is not closing tightly. Check through your garage. Pull back any plants from your foundation. So your plants over the winter months, when it gets cold outside, that's when they want to come in for some shelter, right? So pull back any plants. That'll help with spiders and stuff too. So if you have nothing against the foundation, that's best. So those vines, like the Boston ivies and stuff like that, terrible for mice. But you'd be surprised, a mouse can really climb up pretty much anything. They scaled up this brick, no problem. And that, you know, I've heard crazy stories about them scaling other things too. So critter-proof your house, and once you seal up the exit points, then they won't be able to come in, or they won't be able to leave. So then you get some poison in the attic or in the basement or wherever you see them, and you hope you found the point where they're coming in. I find too, at these points on top of the windows, I could see almost like grease marks on the brick from where the mice kept coming in and out, just from the oil on their fur. So check out for that stuff too. I could see it. It wasn't subtle either. It was pretty greasy. Anyway, that being said, thanks for checking out the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. And don't forget, as always, smash that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.